Hi, this is Bert Ingley with Ultimate Soccer Coaching. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Coach Sip, and as we promised, we're going to tackle some of the questions we've gotten from our subscribers. So, Sip, let's dive into the first one. First question is, I have a U10 girls developmental rec team. We're working on trying to develop them. I feel it's too early to set them into specific positions. I feel that with the way the game is so free-flowing today, it's more important than ever that they develop in all areas. To this end, I do not set them in any specific position. Instead, I take the time to make sure everyone has experience in every position. When is the right time to start setting positions? I have some coaches that believe we should do it now, and I've heard from others that say we should wait until they get a chance to grow.
Okay. First and foremost, he's right. And at 10 years old, the positions are not fixated because the kids are still developing as players, and we have no idea who's going to be in what position, who's going to continue to play. So the best thing to do now is to make them individually competent and have them gain an appreciation for what it takes to play in every position. If as the kids get older, you can assess habits, tendencies, strengths, and weaknesses, and that definitely will help you understand where should a kid be playing. The best way to do it, the way I do it, is I put the kids into a small-sided environment, and the kids gravitate to an area of the field that they feel most comfortable in.
Okay.
And that usually tells you right away, okay, this kid is an organizer. They like to be behind everything. They want everything in front of them. Those are usually your center backs. They're kids that gravitate to the outsides. These are kids that love the freedom of not having any pressure behind them. That line is a comfort zone. And hopefully you have kids that like to score goals. Those are the ones that will stay high,
Right.
and they'll be busy. They'll shoot every opportunity they get. And then you have, your schemers, the players that everywhere the ball is, they want to be involved, and they like connecting with other players. Those are your midfielders. Now, it isn't always that perfect of a scenario,
Sure.
but certainly that's one thing that you wanna look for. The best time to put them into positions, or when you start thinking about, okay, maybe this kid's a defender, maybe this kid's a midfielder, an attacker or goalkeeper, is when they get to U13 and U14.
Right.
We don't do it before because, they aren't physically developed enough, tactically, technically, psychologically, they're still developing in it. And at 13 and 14, they're far along enough developmentally in these areas that you can really make an educated decision and decide, okay, this is where I think this kid's going to play. Nothing's set in stone. There are kids that go to college and end up playing as an outside back, played as a center midfielder their whole club life.
Sure.
But usually what you play, as a 14, 15, 16-year-old, is probably a position that you will play throughout your playing career.
Okay. What kind of characteristics are you looking for, kind of per position?
That's a good question, because they all do require certain characteristics. Let's start with the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper obviously has a screw loose sometimes.
Yeah.
They,
I've been in the net before, and yeah.
they're braver kids. They're very brave, very good communicators, very vocal, obviously very good with their hands, and today's game they have to be excellent with their feet as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
A goalkeeper has to be a good distributor of the ball, off the ground and from the hands. A good shot stopper, the ability to hand cross balls. But in terms of mental makeup, the kid's a lot tougher, very brave, vocal, and a leader.
Okay.
With your outside backs, kids that are fit, kids that can get up and down, play on both sides of the ball, because in today's game, the outside backs contribute significantly when the team is in possession. Good 1v1 defenders, very good 1v1 attackers, very good understanding of passing lanes and when to tuck in, when to open up, and very high fitness rate, very high work rate. With center backs, you need someone responsible. You need kids that are very good passers of the ball, good headers of the ball, good readers of the game, good communicators. They have to be vocal as well, good organizers. In the middle field, you need on the outsides, depending on your system of play, you may have wide players, you may have narrow midfielders, but they all have to be excellent on the ball. very good in traffic, good passes of the ball, very good passing range, and that goes for actually everybody on the field. Very good passing range, a little bit of deception, creativity, and these players have to understand that there's a balance between taking risks and being safe, because you're still in the middle third of the field and we can't be reckless.
Right.
Your attackers almost have to be a little bit arrogant, because they have to deal with a lot of failure. The attackers usually in a numerical disadvantage, so they see a high rate of failure more often than they see success. So this player has to be very tough mentally, very resilient, senile almost. They forget mistakes very quickly, and they have to be risk takers.
Right.
They obviously want to be good finishers. You want them to be good headers of the ball as well. Very good technically around the goal, volleys, half volleys, being able to snap up half chances. Very good in 1v1 situations. Good at holding the ball up, so it gives players time to join the attack if it does find them isolated. And you also want them to be very strong physically. Again, because they're dealing with numbers down situations, and you want them to be able to hold the ball up for a prolonged period of time. You know, these are just some characteristics you look for in players in different positions, and you know there are many of them. And some kids have all of the components you look for. Some kids have some, which is why it's a team.
Right.
So in midfield, you may not have 4 very creative players. You may have a very creative player, but he may not be very good defensively. So you supplement his ability with someone that's a very good ballman and is very disciplined. So you have a more geometric midfielder that, you know, he's connecting, he's a facilitator, and then you have the guy that dictates what happens next. He speeds the tempo up, slows the game down, switches the point of attack, decides who to get involved and when to get them involved. So you have to have an astute eye as a coach to decide where you play a player and why you play them there, because your system may dictate the characteristics you need.
Right. All right. Well, there you have it. There you have it. It sounds like you were on the right track. If you have any other questions you'd like to see answered, stop our website, www.ultimatesoccercoaching.com, and we'll be more than happy to tackle your questions. Thanks a lot. See you next time.